as Memorial Day weekend kicks off and temperatures start to rise, more families are heading to the pools, lakes, and beaches to enjoy the water. But before the summer fun begins, experts say it's important to make water safety a priority for both children and adults. And that's why May is National Water Safety Month.
And this morning, we're happy to welcome Brian Coffey from Charlotte Safety Training to tell us all about the importance of water safety. Obviously, holiday weekend, we're heading into a lot of people. They're going to be out on the water. Why do you feel like paying attention to this is so critical?
Well, water safety is critical to everything this weekend.
So tell us specifically how your organization is able to offer the water safety training.
Okay, so what we do is we offer training for lifeguards and swim instructors. Now with swim instructors, water safety is pretty much integral to every lesson. You know, something like breath control or buoyancy, how to jump in the pool and get back to the side, that's integral to everything that we teach. Lifeguarding is a little bit different as far as that's concerned. You know, they learn extensively about the pool rules, how they operate, you know, why they're there, injuries that could happen because of, you know, breaking those rules. And we teach them how to communicate and educate patrons about those rules. You know, it's difficult for them because a lot of the patrons they talk to are their parents' age.
Yeah,
you know?
Very important. So what does active supervision actually look like when people are actually watching their kids to make sure that they're being safe, to be actively doing that?
So active supervision is searching the pool. You know, drowning, when you're at a pool, what gets your attention in the summertime? Action,
Yes.
splashing,
Panic,
noise, panic.
loud noises.
So drowning is none of those things.
Yeah.
You know, drowning is very silent. It's got distinct signs, but if you're not looking for it, you won't see it. So we train lifeguards to look past all the activity and try to look for those signs. You know, you look at the top of the pool, the bottom of the pool, you look at the walls, the edges, your blind spots. Because if you're not looking for it, you won't see it.
I always notice that at the public pools specifically is all the lifeguards who are standing up and going through a process to analyze and to watch and to see what's going on. And
Yeah,
that makes a big difference.
They're looking for those signs because it is very subtle.
Yeah.
You know, there's no splashing, no noise, nothing associated
Scary.
with it. Yeah.
And oftentimes, as we mentioned, it's a holiday weekend. We know there can be some tragic things that happen with people not knowing how to swim. How important is it that people start that process?
So learning how to swim is super important. You know, we're, oddly enough, one of the few things on the earth that can't swim naturally. You know, like if you watch a dog get in the water and swim, their paws, they don't change any movement. You know, we have to learn how to control our breathing. We have to learn how to do movements that aren't natural for us. You know, we have to learn how to float. Humans are naturally comfortable upright, and upright in the water is not a good position to be in if you don't know how to swim. So it's super important to learn how to swim. Get your kids in swim lessons right away.
Yeah, no, I saw something not long ago. I think you can start as early as like 6 months.
Yeah, so 6 months. So the way that works, you can't really teach the gross motor skills at 6 months, but you can get the child used to the water.
Yeah.
But once they get to about 2.5 years old, 3 years old, you can start teaching them those skills because it is a lot, you know, to breathe, move your arms and legs, all that stuff is a lot to learn.
I'm always impressed by little kids who can swim so young. I love that though, because in one of those situations, if a kid just so happened to fall in the water, they know what to do. So doing that when they're young makes a world of a difference and can save somebody's life.
They are fearless.
So do you think having floaties and that type of thing is beneficial, or should that be something kind of stayed away from until the kid knows how to actually swim?
So floaties, you know, a lot of parents put them on and then they think that the kid's safe. You know, they are really good ones out there that are Coast Guard approved that will keep the child upright. I think they're good in certain environments, but if you're trying to teach that child how to swim, it's definitely not something you want to use because it keeps them in an upright body position. You kind of want to teach them to be prone, but you know, some people don't like them. I have no problem with them. You know, I think if it's going to make your day at the pool safer and more fun, you know, have at it.
Safer and fun, that's always what we're going for. When it comes to water safety, how big do you feel like CPR training is, you know, for maybe parents, especially with young kiddos that may not be that great of a swimmer?
So CPR training is super important. It's that link that gives that person a chance to survive in a situation. You know, it's not designed to actually resuscitate, but it does give them a chance until EMS gets there, a chance they wouldn't have. So that training is super important, and especially with lifeguards as well. You know, they're designed to watch the pool, they have to notice the emergency, jump in the water, make the rescue, pull them out, and without CPR, the chain breaks there, it just stops. So it's super important for parents and lifeguards.
What's something that you always want to incorporate in the courses that you provide?
Reality. reality. You know, we train these people, and they're in these classes within a controlled environment.
Yeah.
You know, they know what's going to happen, when it's going to happen. So I like to throw things in there that they're not going to expect, because if it happens to them in real life, it's never, ever, it doesn't fit the mold.
Yeah.
You know, so we like to simulate emergencies in a locker room or something on the pool deck, or put a victim in a weird situation, just to make it difficult for them, because we want to get them to be able to make those decisions. And that's the most important thing, I think, they can learn.
Real life scenarios.
Yeah.
All right, Brian Coffey with the Charlotte Safety Training. Thank you so much for joining us this morning and sharing some insightful information ahead of this holiday weekend.
Thank you.